Think about the most important people in your life right now, the ones who actually matter, the ones who changed something in you just by showing up. Now think about how they arrived. Were you actively searching? Were you on a dating app, scanning a room, strategically putting yourself in situations designed to find someone? Or did they appear in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday when you were just living, going to the grocery store, sitting at a work event you almost didn't attend, walking somewhere you'd walked 100 times before? Almost every person I've ever talked to about this says the same thing. The one who actually mattered showed up when they weren't looking. That's not a coincidence, and it's not luck. There is a real specific explanation for why the right people tend to find us at exactly the moments we've stopped trying to find them. And understanding it changes not just how you think about love, but how you think about yourself. Here's what searching actually does to you, and this is the part nobody talks about honestly. When you're actively looking for the right person, you are not operating from your natural self. You're operating from a version of yourself that has been subtly altered by the awareness of being evaluated. Every interaction carries a slight undercurrent of assessment. Is this the one? Does this person see me the way I want to be seen? Am I presenting myself the right way? That undercurrent is invisible to the conscious mind, but completely visible to the nervous system of the people around you. Human beings are extraordinarily sensitive to inauthenticity. We detect it before we can name I, in the slight tension of a smile that's performing rather than feeling, in the way someone's eyes are calculating rather than simply present, in the difference between someone who is genuinely here and someone who is here while simultaneously auditioning. When you're searching, you are slightly not here. And the people who might genuinely connect with you, the ones whose nervous systems are attuned to real rather than performed, feel that absence before a single word is exchanged. But when you stop looking, when you reach the point of genuine surrender, not the performed surrender of telling yourself you've let go while secretly still hoping, but actual surrender, the kind that arrives when you've simply run out of energy for the search, something fundamentally changes about how you show up in any room you walk into. You become fully present because there's nothing else to be present for, no one to impress, no calculation running in the background, no half attention devoted to evaluating whether this situation might produce what you've been searching for. You are just here in your life, moving through it without an agenda attached to your heart, and that quality of presence, that specific, undivided, genuinely, not trying energy, is one of the most magnetic things a human being can carry. Not because it's a strategy, because it's the opposite of a strategy. It's simply what you look like when you've come home to yourself. There's also something important happening internally that the people around you can't see, but absolutely respond to. When you're searching, you're operating from a place of lack, from the quiet, sometimes unconscious belief that something is missing, that you are incomplete in some way, that another person needs to complete. That story, however subtly, its running shapes everything about how you interact with the world. It creates a kind of hunger that shows in how you engage, in the way you lean toward certain people, in how quickly you invest, in how disappointed you feel when something doesn't materialize. Lack is not an attractive energy. Not because there's anything wrong with wanting love, but because people with whom you might have a genuine connection are not looking for someone to fill a hole. They're looking for someone to meet them, and you cannot fully meet someone when part of your attention is devoted to measuring whether they're going to fill something in you. When the searching stops, when you genuinely, not performatively, return to your own life and start living it as if it's enough on its own, the lack quiets, and what replaces it is wholeness. Not perfect wholeness, not the absence of wanting, but the sense that you are fundamentally okay, that your life has value, independent of whether or not the right person has arrived yet. That shift from lack to wholeness is visible. Not literally, not consciously, but in exactly the ways that matter for genuine connection. The person who eventually shows up, isn't responding to your appearance or your achievements or the careful version of yourself you'd been curating during the search. They're responding to you, the real UN performing fully inhabited version that only comes out when there's no agenda behind it. And there's one more layer to this that I think is the most beautiful part. When you stop looking, your life starts to move differently. Not because fate intervenes in some mysterious way, but because you start saying yes to different things. You go to the dinner you would have avoided because it seemed unlikely to produce romantic results. You say yes to the trip, the class, the conversation with a stranger, the ordinary Thursday evening that ends up being completely extraordinary. You are present for your actual life rather than for the search. And your actual life, the one you're living fully rather than passing through on the way to something else, is where the right people find you. Not because of magic, because the texture of a life genuinely lived is richer, more interesting, more alive than the texture of a life being held in a kind of suspended animation while the search continues. The right person doesn't find you because you stopped looking. They find you because when you stopped looking, you finally showed them someone real, someone present, someone living in their own life with enough fullness that joining it actually looked like something worth choosing. You weren't incomplete without them. You were complete, and finally showing it. And that completeness, as it turns out, was exactly what they were looking for too. If you're in the middle of the search right now, if you're tired of it, if it's starting to feel like work, if some part of you is exhausted by the effort of it, I want you to consider something. The exhaustion might be the beginning of something. Not giving up, not settling for less than you deserve, just returning to your own life, fully without the search running in the background, trusting that a life genuinely lived has a way of attracting the people who belong in it. You don't have to find them, you just have to be findable, and the most findable version of you is the one who isn't looking. Drop a blue heart in the comments if this landed somewhere true today. Or tell me, are you in the middle of the search right now? Or have you been through this and can speak to the other side of it? I read everything. And if Heart Whisper is giving you something real, something that makes your week a little clearer, a little lighter, please subscribe and turn on the bell. Every week, I'm here with messages like this one, about love, about timing, about the things that find us when we finally stop chasing them. Next video is already coming, and it might be exactly what you need right now. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you there.